Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll share with you a book that I finished reading recently. It's called 6 Months to Six Figures by a chap called Peter Voogd. I heard Peter Voogd speak a couple of times on the Think Media podcast. I'll leave the link in the description below. He's a decent chap and he talks about success and achievements, and I thought I'd start reading his books. From the title, it sounds like the book is money focused, which it probably is, but also is full of productivity principles that can be applied in all fields. So to start with, I'll share with you the most favorite quote from this book for myself. It's by Waldo Emerson. He says, "An ounce of action is worth a ton of theory." And we live in a world that's saturated by information, but it's how much we take out of it and apply to our lives that matters. Peter Voogd starts by describing a hidden opportunity in our present world. So we can either be the standard in our jobs or what we do, walk the path that everyone else has walked, or we can be different, we can choose to be achievers, and that is absolutely possible, but it's just finding the right way of achieving this. Like I said before, we live in a world that's saturated by information, and he has a chapter on mastery versus information overload. So it doesn't matter how much you read or how much you acquire information. What matters is how much of this you apply to your life. So you'll find videos and blogs and all sorts of articles encouraging you to read 100 books a year or 50 books a year. That's myself included. You can check that video in my channel. But what matters is how many of these books have changed your life, and it's probably better to read 5 books and apply all the principles in them than read 50 books and gain nothing. And I think there's lots of messages to be gained from this chapter, but the key thing really is to not let money define you. So if you're just purely after the money, then that's completely the wrong approach. But what he's saying is, as a business person or as an entrepreneur, you need to appreciate the value of money, not in its own right, but as a means of prospering your business and achieving the certain lifestyle you want to live. So obviously take this however you want. For me personally, the best thing to take from this chapter is don't let money define you. There's nobody like you, and once you realize that, your life starts to change. So you are different and you have skills that other people don't have. So have faith in yourself and start to be different, start to follow your passion and achieve your success. First step, absolute clarity. So if you have clarity about your goals, your values, then you'll be able to achieve them. If you have no clue what your values are, then how are you going to keep your standards? So you need to have a set time to sit down, write down your values, your goals, what you want to achieve. And if you have that map, you will never get lost. But if you have no map or no directions, then you'll absolutely be lost on every step of the way. Next is increase your confidence, or what he calls as your most important account. So if you're a salesperson, you have accounts, and obviously there are valuable ones and unvaluable ones. So he says your most valuable account is your confidence in yourself, because if you have no confidence, you will find every opportunity to lose. But if you have confidence, then you're basing everything not on your emotions, but on your goals and values. And he says there's something called the decision train. So the majority of people base what they do off their feelings. So if they don't feel like exercising, they don't. Whereas the successful people create their feelings based on their decisions. So they decide to work out, and as a result, they feel better for it. So make sure you are increasing your confidence, make sure you're making the right choices to build up your confidence. Third step is shifting your circle of influence, and really it's a very self-explanatory thing. So he says, and other people have said, you are the average of the 5 person you spend the most time with. So if you're spending time with people who are lazy and not keen on achievements, then you're going to be the same. Whereas if you shift your circle of influence to people who pursue the same things or push you further, then you will definitely achieve success as a result. Next is consistent energy and motivation. He talks about energy being split into three things: so physical energy, emotional energy, and mental energy. And physical energy goes into nutrition, sleep, and what things can give you that consistent energy. And there are things that some people discount, so good nutrition or good sleep, thinking that it's best to not sleep or to sleep less, but obviously these things are important for your body and for your mind to function properly. It talks about emotional energy as the same thing as emotional intelligence and developing that through the right relationships in your lives. And then mental energy, and that's through feeding your mind the right sort of things. So what happens in your life is a product or a partial product of what you feed your mind and what you tell yourself. So if you tell yourself positive things, then you'll have positive mind and positive thoughts and positive energy. The opposite is true. So to achieve peak performance, you have to focus on the right things. So there's something well known nowadays, the 80-20 rule, or Pareto's law, in that 20% of what you do is what generates 80% of your outcomes. So focusing on the other 80% is not really useful. So you need to find your most valuable inputs and focus on these, because they will generate your most valuable outcomes. So don't be distracted, focus on the right things. And there's something I found really interesting in the book, is that you can write a stop doing list. So if it's something that you do that is absolutely wasteful, so like checking your email for hours and hours every day, and write a stop doing list, put that on it and stop doing it. Just set yourself a short amount of time to do the absolute minimum of email checking, so that you're not wasting your time. Next is the perfect results rituals, or essentially habits. There's lots of books nowadays, including the Atomic Habits, on how to create the right habits for yourself. Obviously there's lots of things that you can do, but it's all down to yourself and what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it. One good thing in this book is he talks about reverse engineering your goals. So if you have your set goals, then you can reverse engineer them into steps and plans, and then based on that you should create the habits that help you. So things such as working out or waking up early or reading a certain amount of books, but creating those habits kind of ingrains them in your lives, and you don't have to think about them later on, so they become a part of your process. Now the final thing is continual growth. So people invest in all sorts of things nowadays, so Bitcoin, Netflix, oil, whatever, but people sometimes forget to invest in themselves. So you are your most important asset, you are your most valuable commodity, so invest in yourself, and that can be all sorts of things. It can be books, YouTube channels, YouTube videos, all sorts, but make sure you're always growing. Challenge yourself, now matters. Don't park this, don't park what we've said and do nothing about it, but think about it. The absolute right time to do anything is now, because now matters. And do check the book. It's a nice, easy read. It's not too cumbersome, and I hope you found this useful. See you later.